Okay, got this new tent cot. Thought I'd try it out. It arrived. It was shipped here. Just want to document the box damage here. We got right here, and then on the other side right here, just a big old rip in the box all the way, like right here. I mean, it just looks like this box was in a war. Here's another hole here. I just want to point out that if you order one of these Kamp Rite tent cot things, that this is how they show up. They completely mark. This was sitting out on my front door, right where you see it right now. It was sitting here for hours just outside of my front door. I think the only reason it wasn't stolen is because it weighs so, you know, it weighs like 50 pounds, so it's not like easy to grab and run off with. But
yes,
here are the top holes, so that goes there. I don't see any other holes. Okay, check it out here a little bit. Okay, camera. Okay, so that kind of locked in place, I think. Just remember trying to keep it as steady as you can. So it looks like you just unfolded like so.
yeah, you didn't pull the,
Okay, did I not pull this out first?
yes.
Okay, guys, while we watch what looks like a monkey effing a football here, I will just give you some of my initial impressions real quick of when I first pulled this thing out of the box. I'm thinking heavy, wonky. There's this position right there that you're seeing me mess with right there that locks the back part of this thing into like a reclining position, as if this thing is some sort of recliner. That doesn't make any sense. It's almost as if this company, Kamp Rite, buys a cot and then they put a tent on it or something, because it makes no sense. Why would you sit on top of the tent and the bars and all of that stuff? It makes no sense. But once you get the hang of this, though, in its defense, you can put it up pretty quickly. But in my personal opinion, I don't think it's any faster than a regular tent. That's just my personal opinion at this point in time, and it's kind of how I felt about it as I used it.
See if that's a button on the side under the sticker.
Okay, so another issue that I encountered right here is that the straps hook onto the center two bars. They go around, and then you hook them on these center two bars to keep it from doing that right there. And you go back and forth, and the problem is I'm not getting on my hands and knees to put these straps on. I don't know about you. Maybe you're a younger fella, you're a little more nimble or whatever, and you don't mind getting on your hands and knees, but this is what I did to solve the problem right here.
Alright, so just had to put the top on, and it was basically just putting these clips on. The battery went dead in the camera, of course, but hopefully that doesn't. But basically, here, let me see, camera. Basically, this is what it looks like inside right now. The nets are unzipped and everything. I'll zip those up real quick, but that's basically what it looks like. I'm gonna get in it and see how it feels real quick. Hold this for me. Let's see how this works out. So is this a quick and easy tent setup like I was hoping? Okay, so it's just the other side. Okay, there's a bar in the middle, so this thing's not actually as wide as it looks. How much room are you supposed to have? I don't even know, but this isn't, you don't get this full width. There's a bar right here. I don't know if it's more comfortable on one side than it is the other or what, but. Alright, give me the camera. Alright, so here I am inside this tent, and you can see that my feet are hitting the end. And if I scoot up, well, they're barely not hitting the end, I guess. I mean, I'm touching the zippers right there, and then my head is all the way up at the top. I'm 6'1", so I don't know what the deal is. And there is a bar right here, and so this is like a regular size cot. I thought I was going to get extra room if I got the double, and what I've got is a single cot with just a place to put stuff. So this is and let's go back here. There are strings hanging down here, stitching here. But there's a spot right here. There's a spot right here where there's like holes right here. There's a hole in the material right here. It's a pinhole, or oh, fuck. Can you see on this other side, babe, on the outside? Right where my finger is poking, right here.
Hold on, I'm coming. Yes.
Is that a hole on the outside too?
It just looks like puncture. It's not really a hole, but it looks like little divots.
All right, guys. Well, I got this thing out of the box, and I'm not tickled pink. You know, you pull a tent brand new out of the box, you're kind of not looking for pinholes. I know that the rain fly goes on top, you know, in case it was raining, but you know, it's double size in the fact that the tent is double the size, but you can only use half of this. It's not like I can lay diagonally or lay in the middle and spread out or anything. This is there is a bar directly in the middle, which makes the cot not even oversized. It's not even an oversized cot. It's a standard size cot. Where this bar is, right here, this is just a standard size cot at this point. I don't know. I'm disappointed, to say the least here. Definitely disappointed. My initial impression is disappointment. See, here's the thing. When she got in the other side, it makes this side more comfortable. So this is actually more uncomfortable for one person than it is for two. Because it tightened up this side, whereas before it was sagging on my side, and now it's not. So what do you think? Could you sleep in this?
I don't know.
You don't know if you could sleep in it?
I don't know if I could sleep in it.
And my feet are hitting the bottom. Is this better than a regular tent? Is it better to sleep in this off the ground than it is to be in a regular tent where you're on the ground?
All right, let me go ahead and finish this up. The video's getting a little long. Let me just go ahead and let you know what I did to test this. I went out on 4 separate camping trips. I really gave this thing a go because what I was looking for, from my point of view, was something that I could quickly set up and take down. Because I like to go camp for a night in a spot, and then I'll move on to somewhere else, and I like to camp, and I like to keep moving. That's how I like to do things, kind of like overlanding kind of thing. And the problem with this tent there are several big problems with this tent. One is that it's crazy heavy. It's 50 pounds, and that doesn't sound like a lot until you consider that it's 50 pounds and a very large, gangly, hard to, control type form factor. So it's heavy. It's difficult to set up. I don't think it's any easier to set up than a regular tent at all. I don't think it's any quicker, any faster, anything. The next huge problem is that the dimensions are kind of misleading, because yes, the cot itself is over 6 feet long, but because of the steep angle that the tent comes up, it's less than 6 feet long, in my personal opinion. I'm 6'1", and one of my biggest issue was that my feet were always hitting the tent. They'd get caught when I was sleeping on the tent. Another problem is that the doors and the windows, they unzip from the bottom up. Tents don't work that way. All of the vents and windows and doors, they unzip from the top down, so you can unzip something partially. On a cold winter night, you have to have ventilation in this thing, and it has no ventilation with the rainfly on. And then that's compounded by the fact that the windows and the doors unzip from the bottom up. So there's no way to just unzip it a little bit for ventilation, because it's not unzipping until you get all the way to the top and you tie it up. So basically what I found is it was either all the way open or all the way closed. So the best thing I found to combat condensation, and I mean really bad condensation in this thing, was to have all the doors open with the rainfly on, and then I took tarp clamps and I held the vents open on the rainfly. That's the best setup that I found, and the condensation was reduced, but the thing really wasn't any protection at all from the cold weather. You might as well have been seriously sleeping outside on the cot with no tent over you at all. I mean, that's about what it was like. I mean, if it was windy, it would block the wind, but that's about the extent of it. So bottom line is I think that this thing is really poorly designed. I don't like it for any scenario at all, except for maybe kids. Like if you are going camping and you want to bring your kids along and you want them out of your tent, they would probably have some fun in this thing. And well, anyway, you saw everything. I really camped in this thing. I tried to make it work. I just don't find the benefit of being up off the ground outweighs how poorly it's designed. And with that said, if you like this video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll bring you some more in the future. Things have been a little slow for me right now because I started a new career, and I have just been... all my time is being taken up with that right now. So I'm trying to put out some videos here and there when I can, and hopefully things will settle down after my training period. Also, check out my website, newzonerrides.com, if you haven't checked it out. I have a second channel, primeaddiction.com. And, check those things out. Check the website out. There's links to the other channel there. And like always, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. We'll catch you on the next one on that end.